closed captioning of this show is brought to you by Echo Bearcat, rugged equipment, easy to use.
Here we are in Lyster, Quebec for the lumberjack competition. The final few events as the scorekeepers are getting ready to tabulate those final results. If I was a betting man, I would guess that Dave Jewett's going to win this thing. He won the standing block chop. Second in the axe throw. We got 2 events to go, the OP and the hot saw. First heat of the OP, and we're going to be showing you the top 4 heats. We got Marcel Dupuis taking on Vince Maciel.
This has got to be Marcel Dupuis' event. Obstacle pole, we do a lot in New Brunswick. Marcel is using the top 1 or 2 finishers in that event. These are really high poles. You see them almost 6 feet off the ground. Not going to matter to Marcel. He's done it a lot.
Very similar to what we saw last year at the Grand Balsams Resort in New Hampshire. Look at that nimbleness up the log there. He chooses to use the top of the bar. Vince is using the bottom of the bar. Not much of an advantage there, I don't think.
Don't matter a bit. Wherever he pulls starts it, wherever the saw is, that's what he's using. His mouth wide open. He makes a big run to the finish line. Marcel, great time with 16 seconds and change.
Fantastic balance there and a good sprint at the end. Now he pulls it right on top, and you say using the top of the bar is just merely out of convenience. No advantage, no disadvantage. This is what he chooses. He goes, he turns, and he's down to the bottom.
Dave Jewett, I'm from Pittsford, New York. I'm a Christmas tree salesman, chainsaw carver, and professional lumberjack competitor.
Ilko de Beer, De Steeg, Holland, Forster.
Well, I noticed Dave didn't list obstacle pole bucker in his list of things that he does, and there may be reason for that. He may be a little bit intimidated after that first run by Marcel Dupuis.
Well, it's going to be a tough time to beat that 16.01 as Ilko, who's never done this before, actually, he's over here in North America for a couple of weeks with his buddy Martijn Harms. He's struggling just to get on the log. Now he's got to balance his weight, and he's not a small guy, but Dave Jewett pretty nimble, despite the fact he's over 6 feet tall as well.
Dave did a good thing. He stopped at the bottom of the log and lined himself up with it. A lot of the Americans will do that and then make a straight run up the pole. He does that, stays on it to the bottom. Dave Jewett, he's a good athlete. He makes it to the end. Not a bad time, 22 seconds.
Well, Ilko just couldn't manage to get the job done. He does get his cut complete, but he ends up with a DQ. Just loses his balance here. You know, it's kind of feeling when you're on the edge of your seat, you're just not going to make it. He makes a nice safe landing. It is quite a high drop. He's over 6 feet tall, and it's from 6 feet in the air as well.
Yeah, it's not like falling off a bicycle. It's almost like coming off a first-story building. So quite a drop for these guys to hit the ground.
Well, we got the veteran Gaston Duperre and Calvin Willard, a young fella, probably in his 20s, maybe early 30s, in the third heat of the obstacle pole. Still 16:01 is time to beat.
That's right. This is a young man's event, of course. The guys that are faster and fleet of foot are the guys that do well at this. Very awkward, abnormal starts you see from some of these guys. He was actually backhanded, it looked like, when he grabbed his saw.
Gaston taking his time to get up there. He just wants to get the job done. Calvin Willard blisters his way down there. Not sure what the judges call it. He's standing right there at the time. Calvin Willard comes in with a 16.41. We're going to have a closer look at that one with the instant replay.
The whole object here is you can't fall off the log. You actually have to touch the bottom of the log before you hit the ground. You can see here his left foot is hitting before the right foot does touch the line, but of course we have the advantage of instant replay.
Well, the judge was right on the scene at the time, and certainly he deemed that it was a legal run. 16.41 for Calvin Willard. Excellent job of balance there to even make it that close. Still, the time to beat is 16:01, set by Marcel Dupuis way back in the first heat. This is the last heat. Waterfield taking on Simon Bertrand.
Marcel's the loser as far as I'm concerned, but Simon Bertrand, very fast, and also a very excellent saw operator. Nathan Waterfield looks like he's being a little bit ginger.
Yeah, well, Nathan had a logging accident about a year ago, and he had a broken leg. He's still a little bit tender from that. He's still got a bit of a limp. Simon Bertrand, excellent job. Nathan's going to get the job done as well. It looks like Simon Bertrand finished things off with a 17.34. Not quite enough. A good job by Simon, who can run a saw. Obviously, he's got some good balance as well.
Great balance, great technique, and the thing is, once you get that off, the faster you can make the transition to a round and getting down that log, the better you're going to do.
Well, there it is. The obstacle pole is now in the books here at the Lyster Lumberjack competition with Marcel Dupuis from Memramcook, New Brunswick, winning it.